Welcome to the Darren B. Casey Athletic Complex here at Texas State. We are recapping the 2013-2014 year and a look ahead as well with Athletics Director Dr. Larry Teis. And Larry, as always, thank you for your time. And we're going to get into the on-the-court stuff here, on the field stuff in just a moment. But first, I want to look back at things this past year from an administrative standpoint and how you felt like things fared for you with administration.
It's been a good year in terms of, I tell people all the time, and it's not a glamorous thing for the outside, but as an athletic director, you lose sleep over a lot of things, but three things you really have to worry about are the academics. That's why we're here, overall, in the APR and the student athletes and being on campus. Then you got to worry about compliance. That's a crazy thing. It can jump up and bite you. If something does happen, it's usually unintentional, but we still have to report those and work on those. And then obviously the budget. Everybody's great at spending money that's not theirs, and everybody has a way to spend the money, but you always have to balance that budget and make sure you're doing the best you can with what you have to make sure everybody has a fair shake in the department to do what they need to do. So, but it's been a good year. It's been another adjustment. The travel, making sure everybody has gotten to the right spot at the right time, and that has a lot into the academics and getting back as much as you can, as early as you can. So overall, it's run smoothly. We do have a lot of turnover again. We have probably 6 or 7 positions open just right now, and that's due to moving up and being successful. The minute we do something good, somebody starts taking our people. Eventually, that won't happen as we continue to grow. But it shows the success we're having and the statement we're making around the country.
Well, let's look at year one of the Sun Belt. This is your third conference in as many years, but finally one you can call home. You'll be in the Sun Belt again next year and for years to come. Looking back at the year, how do you feel like that Texas State fared to the Sun Belt, and how do you feel about the conference moving forward?
Yeah, you want to win every game, and I know that's not possible. And all the losses, I've told you this before, they hurt. And I don't care, men's golf, women's golf, tennis, softball, baseball, soccer, football, basketball, they all hurt. And I don't like them, but, it happens. The Sun Belt's a tough league. I don't think people realize that, how tough it is, and it's not going to get any easier. So overall, though, we didn't have a lot of major things step out. Of course, we did have volleyball in the NCAA tournament. Men's golf had the individual champion. Women's golf got an at-large bid. A lot of track athletes going to the NCAAs and going further than we usually do. But we were steady. We finished third in the overall commissioner's point standings in the Sun Belt. So that shows you we were steady. Nothing super spectacular, but we got out there and got the job done. And it is a good league. It's a great fit for us. It's a lot of the areas are closer to our fans, and if we can continue, and I tell coaches this all the time, to schedule in the non-conference areas of what we're doing now with Houston and football in the home and home and the 8-year series with UTSA and then Tulsa. If we can schedule those teams closer in the area, then stay closer to home and keep some rivalries in place.
Well, certainly, again, the conference championship in volleyball was impressive for year one, and 3 teams made the Final Four in the respective conference tournaments: women's basketball, soccer, and baseball. So, again, I think all things considered, pretty successful year one in the Sun Belt. Now, the conference itself will look slightly different next year. Western Kentucky is gone, but the additions are Georgia Southern and Appalachia State. And in football, you're also adding New Mexico State and Idaho, a couple of teams that you're familiar with out of the WAC. What are your thoughts on how the Sun Belt looks in regards to your fellow schools now?
We are the only one that has teams that play football only or play everything but football. So we're at 11-11, but you have, the Arkansas Little Rock and the UTA without the football, and then the Idaho and New Mexico State with the football. So, but it is the good 11-11. We have looked at going to 12. There's no urgent rush. We do hold the one key last spot if really, we want to add a team, because you have to be sponsored by a league. So I go back to what I've said before, and I don't think a lot of people realized at the beginning. It's a good, strong, solid league. And I think, the football schedule will lay out and help us. And now that the league has gone and we will have, after next season, 4 official bowl tie-ins. And then some years we'll have 6, depending on the rotation with the other 5, that we'll have the Miami and the Bahamas Bowl thrown in there. So that overall is good. So the league's solid. We're in good shape. If we want to add, we can. There's a lot of interested teams. But I think everybody feels right now, let's get what we have, get everybody in place, get everybody solid to move forward and make all of us stronger together.
Looking at the external report, it was released about a month ago now, and some of the figures really stood out, when looking at them. And I want to focus on the Bobcat Club. Mm-hmm. About $1 million raised towards athletic scholarships in the past 2013-2014 year. That was a record number. What does that say about the support that the Bobcat Club has garnered? And also want to touch upon some of the new initiatives the Bobcat Club is starting to pave the way and the next level challenge as well. Very proactive, the Bobcat Club, I would say, has been over the past year.
Yeah, that staff's done a great job. And they've tied in a lot of people to help us with the Leadership Council. And so if you get somebody out there gets an email or a phone call from the Leadership Council, that's a group of probably 100 of our former alums that are out, and not some of them aren't alums, but they're out helping raise money. And I can remember not too long ago where we were happy to break $250,000. So the numbers have gone up too. The dollar figures have gone up, but the numbers of participation, a lot of those people are at the lower level, but they're involved. And that's what we need to keep going. You look, we tell people SMU's at $4 million, and Rice is at several million. So we still have a long ways to go, but it's a good start. It's a good base. We got to keep pushing. Win, lose, or draw, we need people to participate in the Bobcat Club. It shows great support. It helps the student athletes. It's helped our summer school, our fifth-year program, our medical program. And it's a great place for people to get involved at an early level and continue, come to the games, get involved, do things. It's a great organization. We need a lot of help. We need to continue to grow. Obviously, the big event, the Bonanza, we were happy 4 years ago raising $60,000, and now you look at what we've done this year. It just shows you people are getting involved, people are happy, and we just need to keep moving forward.
And again, that figure from the Bobcat Bonanza, the gala on the gridiron, was held May 3rd at Bobcat Stadium. Over $400,000 was almost as much as the previous three Bonanzas combined. So not just people contributing through the Bobcat Club, but fans and alumni both are really starting to step up their efforts here at Texas State.
Yeah, and it's no secret that, yes, people pay to come to the event, but the way we raise money, the biggest two things are the live auction and the silent auction. And you go back, the items that have been donated help tremendously. Everybody that donates an item helps us raise more money. And I have to say, I go back and I look at what Jerry and Linda Fields have done, have elevated the Bonanza to another level, helping out with their boat and their trips and the items they do. Jerry and Linda have taken it to another level. And the great thing about that is 3 years ago I'd have been scared to death if anybody would have even bid on those type of items. But now we have battles for it. And people have even split when we got over $20,000 and split, and then now two people are doing that. So I appreciate them going out and taking those people and pushing and helping us. But everybody that donates all the way from their night stay at different locations up to the big events with Jerry and Linda, that helps us, and we appreciate that.
Looking at something else to recap the 2013-2014 year was the level of exposure that Texas State Athletics received, and you look at all the TV coverage, the ESPN family of networks, the Longhorn Network, the Sunbelt Conference Network, Comcast, Time Warner Cable Sports, locally produced live events from KXAN. It seems like no matter what time of year you turn on your television, there was Bobcat programming available. What does that exposure do for Bobcat Athletics moving forward?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I think last year was just a small piece of what we're going to see this year. And especially when you already look right now, we have ESPNU, ESPN2, and ESPN News coming to the football stadium. And the other three will more than likely be with either ESPN3 or the Longhorn Network. The exposure's good. It's great. But what I tell people all the time, it's going to be great. And our coaches always want the exposure. But you flip on those Tuesday and Thursday night games during the year, at a lot of places there's nobody in the stands. To me, that's not great exposure. So it's up to the Bobcat family. We're going to do everything we can, but we need people to come sit in that stadium. Now, I don't care win, lose, or draw, the weather, that's all over the world. And people see those games, especially the Tuesday night game. There's no other game. And then Thursday there may be one or two more on, but that's it. That's worldwide exposure. It's great for this campus. It's great for this city. It's great for the state of Texas. So the more people can come and show up and sit in the stands, and we want our students there painting their faces and going nuts and making signs, and even going back to the local with KXAN was huge. What they did to step in and get involved with us, and we're working with them for some more things for next year. With the way they did the basketball games, I don't know how many texts, phone calls, emails I got. People, those look great. Now, unfortunately, some of those people were within 30 miles of the arena. So I say it looks better in the arena, and we need you there so people outside the driving distance see the atmosphere and want to come to a game.
You bring up facilities. You mentioned Bobcat Stadium and Strand Coliseum where the basketball teams play. And looking at football in particular to start, 5 years ago, this stadium is not recognizable anymore. New additions every year, and you look at what's been done over the past year. The addition of the pavilion and major renovations done to the south end zone complex, specifically the team's locker room. I mean, with the improvements that facilities continues to make, recruiting, fan experience, no matter what it is, has really made things that much bigger here at Texas State.
Yeah, we had somebody drive up to campus a couple weeks ago that was driving down the interstate for their family vacation. An alum that hasn't been by this campus in ages, and was shocked when they drove by and saw everything, and they actually came in and joined the Bobcat Club just because they were excited about things that they see. You don't really recognize this place from when you pull off Ocarina all the way to the back of campus. And that goes back to a campus master plan and the university and the athletic department. Everything looks great. It wasn't put together in the crazy fashions that you see in different locations. Everything looks beautiful, and it's a tribute to everybody here. And the football stadium especially, that's a showpiece you see when you're driving down the street or when you're on the interstate. And you can see the baseball softball complex from there. And eventually, Strand Coliseum will get a makeover, and that's driven by the university, because hopefully one day athletics will have the issue where we got to go to 8 graduations and they have people sitting in gym 101 and 102 and trying to drive all the way here and having to watch it on TV because there's not enough space. And when you see how we're going to grow again this fall, the university needs a bigger multi-purpose facility, and Strand Coliseum hopefully will be getting a makeover here in the next several years.
Well, today you and I have done a lot of reflecting and looking back at 2013, 2014. Let's now look forward, and we'll focus on football, the upcoming 2014 season. Exciting schedule, non-conference and conference both. You touched upon the Tuesday, Thursday night national televised games, home games against Louisiana Lafayette and Arkansas State. What are you looking forward to the most this coming football year?
Well, I tell you, the TV games, I look forward to them, but they make me nervous. I'll be honest with you. We want people there. And I think it's going to be really unique. I was at TCU several years ago, and right after I left, they played a football game on, I think it was 5 different nights of the week. And some people have complained to me, well, this is not the way it's supposed to be. But that's how you get on the map, and that's how you showcase your university. You're given a time slot on ESPN on national TV, and you need to take advantage of that. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm really excited just to see what happens, see what plays out, the chance to go to a bowl game this year. And then you go and, volleyball having another strong year, and soccer. It's amazing that those start in, 6 weeks. And so and practice will be starting in another month. But then I'm excited to see what happens with Coach Casper and so revamping some of the basketball team and making some changes. And, of course, it's just year 2, so he's going to have some other lumps again. And women's basketball's got a strong core coming back. And baseball and softball, unfortunately, Ty lost some to the draft again, which is a good and a bad thing. Sure. But, he'll be reloaded again. And so everything, we've been strong, obviously, men's and women's golf, and tennis has gotten better. So everything looks pretty good. It's going to be, hopefully we can realize some of the potential and some of the hard work and some of the dedication that everybody's put in and have a really special year.
Well, again, this was a very special 2013-2014 year. Congratulations on the success and we look forward to what's in store here at Texas State.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that is Dr. Larry Teis, Athletics Director here at Texas State. I'm Brant Freeman. Thanks for tuning in here online at txstatebobcats.com.